And welcome into the Cardinals franchise, where we're in Week 15 facing the Denver Broncos. It'll be our first matchup against Wilson in his new digs, so hopefully it goes well for us. They are 8-5 on the season with an 81 across the board, offense, defense, overall. So I'm guessing special teams would also be accounted in that. For us, however, a little bit different. 83 offense, 80 defense, 81 overall. So we're at least the same overall. We're sitting 9-4. After our win last episode against the Patriots, we moved up to the number 1 seed in the NFC. However, prior to that game, the Eagles were number 1. They lost one game and dropped down to the 5th seed. So nothing is guaranteed in the NFC at this point of the season. So we have to continue to win. We have 4 games left in the regular season, and if we can win out, then we're definitely guaranteed that first round bye. If we can't, who knows? We could maybe even drop out. Let's actually start by taking a look at the standings in the NFC. So currently, right now, we have, obviously, the best record, but only by 1 game up. If we lose 1 game, the Giants, Eagles, and Panthers could all jump us. So, not very good there. It could drop us down to the 10th seed, again, depending on what happens underneath as well. And considering the Eagles are technically the 3rd best team, but there's multiple teams in the NFC East this high, it gets weird. But we don't have that much of a cushion. 1 game that we lose can drop us pretty drastically. So we need to make sure we keep winning. With Russell Wilson being able to make plays with both his arm and his legs, it must be tough to devise a game plan to stop him. What's the biggest factor in slowing him down? At this point of his career, limit the passing. He's a quarterback, so the first focus always has to be the passing game. That's where the big damage will come. From, and if you focus too much on his legs, he'll burn you over the top, is what I'm assuming it said. Beat the Broncos and hold them to less than 250 yards passing. I think we could do that. And to help us do that even, we'll have +3 man and zone coverage this week. So I definitely feel like we have the defense to do that. Let's see if they can. Welcome to Mile High Stadium, where currently they have probably one of the better battles, I would say, of today. Flag, though, starting the day, not very good. And it's going to be holding on Antonio Hamilton. That's not going to help you stay on the roster. And they say that playing in Mile High is hard for visiting teams because you don't have the same kind of stamina that you're used to because, well, the air is thinner. And that looks like that might be affecting our players today, as most of them are already starting off with that light blue player icon. So I would say look to see a rotation, especially with the running backs, maybe with the receivers as well. And this ball off, Mostert with a run down the middle, a little bit of shake and bake, and a second flag down on only the 3rd play of the game. And another holding called, this time DJ Humphries. We've ran 3 plays including a kickoff today, and have had 2 holding penalties. Hopefully that's not a sign of what's to come today, as we have a wide open receiver, but an inaccurate pass. On 2nd and 17, we'll come out 4 receivers to the left-hand side, 1 to the right. I'm going to try to set up a screen pass here, get Isabella's speed to the outside and close. Number 23 makes a very good stop in open field. That is Darby. However, that does make it a bit more of a manageable third down, 3rd and 7. We'll come out 3 to the right, 1 to the left, and we are going to have an open receiver. That's going to be D-Hop, who will break first contact, and then Darby will bring him down. So far, seeing a lot of Darby today. I think the key here for us in this game is going to be spreading the ball out and having various different players at various different levels. I'm going to go deep here, and almost a solid play there from Moore, but a good pass breakup. I'm going to bring up a 2nd and 10. I'm going to go with a draw play here. Had a lot of passing so far, trying to get Derek Young to the outside, and he was almost able to get there, brought down after a gain of 5. And on 3rd and 5, let's try a jailbreak screen. Haven't ran this play all too much, and sometimes it's really hit or miss, but we have blockers out in front, more able to utilize them to the best that you could really do with Madden, even though you still kind of get glued to some blockers and some animations, but he does give us the first down. And I think that's what we're going to see a lot today is a lot of different levels. Keep the defense guessing, because a defense that knows what you're doing is a defense that can stop you, but if they don't know, they can't stop you. Read option with a first down rush there from Murray. We saw him break off a huge one last week for a touchdown. Try to see if we utilize him a little bit more today. And obviously the main concern with running with Murray is that stamina, so won't do it all too often, but I think in some key situations could definitely look to try to utilize that, as we almost had blockers out in front, but Ertz not able to hold on to his block. Gregory will get the tackle for a loss of 1. And on 2nd and 11, looks like they're going to send a bit of a safety blitz to this right-hand side, which might work for us. And I wanted to actually hand that one off, but I always forget that you have to hit A to hand that one off. It's a fun RPO design because it's a read option that's also you could pass out of it, but not what we were looking to do there. But Murray holds onto it, and that's a poor spot. That's a first down, but they mark it 4th and inches. Well, on 4th and inches, we're playing aggressive here. Dual running back set here at the goal line with Darrell Williams at fullback, and he'll take the handoff with some open running room. Gets about a gain of 4 for the first down to the 16. And with that fresh set of downs, about 3 minutes left in the first, we're going to go with the draw. Mostert powers through a guy. Was nowhere close to where I wanted to run it, but I'll take a gain of 4. And on 2nd and 6, I've seen some offenses do this in real life when they get close to the end zone. They run a screen pass. And we're going to run one here, and that's going to be a 6 on the board. Derek Young into the end zone. If that's where we need to run screens, I'm all right with it. We'll get in for our first points of the day, the first points of the game. And we definitely took some time off the clock there. Not necessarily what you would imagine for an air raid offense, but we passed the ball a lot. Just wasn't all downfield. And honestly, I would say that how we just ran our offense there is how USC has been running their offense this year. But nice stop there for us. Javonte Williams trips on his first carry. I think I called him Devontae Williams earlier in the episode. Javonte is actually the name. I'm pretty sure. Could be messing it up. Judy here with a catch. Gain of 9. First pass for Wilson today. That'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Defense was able to do a really good job on 3rd and short in the first half of last episode. And they'll start off with another good start on 3rd and short with a stop there. Gardick is able to force at least some uneasy play there from Wilson, who just throws it into the back of the line. And with that stop from our defense, our offense right back out on the field. And while they haven't been perfect this year by any means, they've been versatile. And Mostert with the speed gets away from number 2, and I don't think anyone's catching him. Mostert with about a 75-yard touchdown. The old man still got the speed. And after that one-play 75-yard touchdown drive for the Cardinals, it's do or die time already for the Broncos. Williams will get forward for a gain of about 7. And I feel like today, whenever they're in a quote-unquote base type of formation, I think instead of running some 3-4, we're going to run some 4-4. With Javonte Williams, you got to be able to stop some power running. And I think in the 4-4, you have that ability, but they just lost one of their offensive linemen in Moses. at least for one play. And he will head to the locker room along with his trainer. We'll see if he comes back in. But Madden still doesn't really give you updates on the opposing team injuries. So we'll see. Nice job there from 85 to get by Thompson, but not able to stay in bounds. Albert Okwegbunon. Yeah, butchered that. But from what I could remember, I did a off before the channel started. I did a Broncos franchise, and he has a lot of speed at that tight end spot. So someone we need to keep an eye on today, as well as Javonte Williams, but only a gain of 2 there. And that's how we will end the first quarter. Game 14-0. I forgot about that one-play touchdown drive. 14-0 with the Broncos with possession. And the second quarter will be starting with a 3rd and 8. Looks like Melvin Gordon in the backfield. Will be a pass here for the Broncos, and they have 81, but 81 does not have the first. Solid tackle by Murphy Jr. in open field, bringing up a 4th and 3. Only a gain of 6 to Tim Patrick. And following a Broncos punt, we'll start at the 14 pistol formation here for the Cardinals. Going to roll out. And we do have a receiver breaking open, but pass about 2 yards too far away from D-Hop. And when we're starting to see those kind of passes, that tells me that Murray is struggling with stamina. So running a read option here probably isn't the best play call, but it's going to work for us here. Try to use our receiver. Brown was able to get back up and get the block, and a huge rush there from Murray gets us all the way to the 41. 45 yards rushing for Murray on the day. Not too bad. So far today, this varied style of air raid definitely working for us. We will go with a quick pass. That corner decided to come in to try to get the stop, and Young still not able to make anyone miss in the open field. Something he definitely needs to work on in the offseason. We might see a little bit more of Mostert today, maybe even some of the younger running backs as well, with the stamina issues we have. And an almost good cutback there, but a solid play made there by Chubb. Try to set up that screen. We had one blocker out in front versus one defender, but the defender made the play. D-Hop with a solid release. Darby in coverage, not able to get back and break that one up, but will drag D-Hop down at the 9. And we ran a screen pass last drive when we were down here. Let's try a receiver screen pass. See if we could get out there, and I wish Brown stepped up to get that block. Could have used him kind of as like a basketball screen kind of a block, but instead it'll just be about a gain of 4. On 2nd and goal, still stay out in this same formation. And we're going to try a quarterback draw here. Try to find somewhere to go. Kyler Murray breaking to the outside, but a solid tackle there from Collins. And on 1st and goal, Trace McSorley comes out. After that last play, Kyler was definitely hurting for stamina. So Trace McSorley with the read option and not able to get around the edge before Gregory did. Will be a loss of about 5-ish yards. Field goal unit headed out for the Cardinals. Kicking from about the 13-yard line. Making about a 23-yard field goal. That one is up and through for Prater. Cardinals take a 17-point lead, but Ertz got up a little gingerly, or walked off a little gingerly on that field goal, so we'll see how that affects the team. And the Broncos have yet to put together a drive on offense. We talked about at the beginning, they have a slightly above average offense, with our defense being hit or miss at times, despite our high ranking. And that will definitely help us out, holding on Cortland Sutton. And there's an update for Ertz, so nothing big, but I think we're going to bring in the rookie tight end Trey McBride. So exercising complete caution, just as we currently have that first round bye locked in for the playoffs. Well, not locked in, but at least currently have that first round bye. We're going to take Ertz out for the remainder of this game and rock with Trey McBride, someone we want to see what he can do, really. He's a very promising young tight end, and obviously learning from Ertz would be great for him his rookie year. And then from there, we'll see. Wilson on the move here, though, will hook up with his receiver, number 81, Tim Patrick, for the first down at the 42. And then they'll follow that up by going shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Gordon in the backfield. Will be another pass, running a lot of underneath plays so far. Tim Patrick with another catch, gain of 5. Perhaps I need to tell our DBs to start playing underneath if they're going to continue to just run some checkdowns. And we almost made a solid read there, but Javonte Williams with another first down as we hit the 2-minute warning, 17-0. So far this game, starting off very similarly to last week, where we had a dominant first half. Hopefully we learned from the second half mistakes that we made and can put together a full game as they do find Albert, their tight end here. I'm not even going to try the last name again because I don't want to continually say it wrong. On 2nd and 7, 3 receivers set to that right-hand side, so we will check out of our corner blitz. Try to keep some guys underneath, run a little bit of some cover 2. And they will have Gordon gets the catch, first down to the 31. Collins with the hit. With about a minute and a half left in this first half. Both teams with 3 timeouts. Looking like the best drive, or it's definitely the best drive so far for the Broncos. Getting to about the 20 mark, down at the 21. Only 1 incompletion on the day so far for Wilson. We just have not been able to get in his face. This time, though, Gardick looked like he was going to. But they had that quick pass dialed up there to Albert, and they'll call their first timeout. And one thing I just don't understand here is that we have Budda Baker on this defense, and we don't have a single safety blitz. I'm not sure about that, and a nice tackle there from Budda Baker, getting him down in bounds for the Broncos to call their second timeout. Granted, I do think we have a safety blitz in the double A-gap look, but not in the normal nickel. Definitely I'm going to make sure that in our 3-3-5 defense for the next season, we have a safety blitz, because Budda Baker needs to be involved in some sort of quarterback rush. Nice tackle again in open field there from Murphy to at least keep this clock running. Another first down, though, for the Broncos. As the clock now ticks under 40 minutes. Wow, under 40 seconds. This isn't soccer. They will find a wide open receiver on the outside. That is Cortland Sutton with a late touchdown in this half to at least draw it back a little bit. 17-6, a made PAT to make it a 10-point game. And with 30 seconds left before halftime, let's see if we can make something happen here with all 3 timeouts. Get Isabella with that quick pass. We're actually going to need to call a timeout there. Was a solid quick stop there from, I couldn't tell if that was the safety or corner that played underneath there, but a great job either way from whoever it was. Isabella open here this time, cut back to the inside, up, now past midfield, call our second timeout. The Broncos worked so hard to get a touchdown on the board before half, and their defense might just give up that lead. We have Hollywood Brown one-on-one, and he ends up playing a bit of cornerback there. And it worked well for us. We still have 1 timeout left. 15 seconds. Try to set up maybe a field goal attempt here, and nothing doing there. Let the clock drain out from about 50 yards away. We'll take a pop shot at the end to end the first half. With 3 seconds left, we'll see. We got Brown all the way to the right, Hopkins on the left. Would be one-on-one to the left-hand side, and I think that's where we go. D-Hop in the end zone. No, nice pass breakup. We'll head into halftime with our 10-point lead. And as the teams head in, take a quick look at the stats, and we are destroying them in the rushing department for both offense and defense. That might just be the difference so far of this game, as I guess we're just taking a look at the crowd. There we go. Now we could take a look around the league. Big game here for the division. 49ers and Seahawks, and 49ers destroyed them 45-28. We know Lance can destroy teams both with rushing and passing. Mitchell maybe doesn't have any stats on the game, or maybe Madden's just broke again. Minnesota Vikings and the Colts here, and the Colts get the victory 38-20. Both teams now 6-8. So with that, the Vikings might be out of the playoff contention. And looking at one more game here, the Titans and the Chargers. Battle of the blue, the light blue, the baby blues. 13-10. with about 2 seconds left right before halftime. Neither quarterback really separating themselves in that game. But back into our matchup here against the Broncos. We'll be kicking off to start the second half. Russell Wilson was able to lead his team down the field and get a touchdown late in the second quarter. Left us a little bit of time to almost do something, but their defense stood strong. A touchdown, maybe even a field goal here, really breathes life into the Broncos team. So let's see what they do for their first play of the second half. Coming out, two receivers will be a strong run to the outside, and Javonte Williams all the way to the outside to about gain of 13-14 yards. I think that's what they need to do. I think when you spread wide here, you play into what our defense does better, and that's speed and athleticism. You start to run some power run down the middle. We don't have the guys for that. As you can see there, when we have a wide open tackle in the backfield, we still end up giving up at least a yard. Because currently in the middle we have Tim Settle and Kingsley Keke, and while they both have some ability to be both pass rushers and run stoppers, as that pass ends up finding nobody, I wouldn't say either one of them are key run stoppers, especially if it's a power run type of situation. So power rush would definitely be in favor of the Broncos, and a nice job by our number one cornerback in Adoree to break that one up, force a punt. And to start our second half, I'm going to try to run a little bit of that double kind of reverse situation. And this play either works very well or not at all, and it doesn't really work there for us on that time. So with 2nd and 10, we'll stay out with that bunch. Maybe send Brown on a bit of a streak. Try to open up some of the underneath play here. And we did have our tight end open late, as well as Hopkins. Unfortunately for us, that pass rush just got there in the nick of time for the Broncos. 3rd and 10. Try to run a little bit of a safe play here, and we needed that block, D-Hop. They had guys waited in the middle, so we had to go to the outside, and if we get that one block on Darby, it's a first down, if not a heck of a lot more. Instead, Broncos get the stop. That was what the Broncos offense needed. They needed their defense to help them out, and they definitely did there. We're going to make a slight audible here to match their audible. Make sure we have some guys sitting underneath, and they'll audible again. I'm going to go with a blitz here. Send Murphy on the quick blitz, and he hits Russell Wilson, but not after that ball is thrown complete to their tight end. I would say what the Broncos need to do here is run power rush and a quick pass game underneath. That's what our defense has struggled to stop all year, although good stop there from Allen. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage on that run. But that combination of quick pass and underneath play definitely has made our defense struggle at times, for sure. So that's what they need to do, but they keep going with these toss-up passes. This time Albert comes down with it, and that one-on-one with Adoree. Seems like the Broncos offense is running a little bit more of the Stanford playbook, while we're running a little bit more of the USC playbook. So, interesting. The Javonte Wilson gets a solid rush again, about 16 yards. 8 rushes for him, 44 total on the day. I don't believe he has any receiving yards as well. So, I believe whenever it's been a receiving type situation, they brought in Melvin Gordon. About what you would expect, though. Not that I don't think Javonte Wilson can't catch the ball. And you know who can catch the ball? Isaiah Simmons gets another INT 2 weeks in a row, I believe, with that INT. And that's why he's technically playing third tight end for us right now. Well, defense makes the play for them the last drive. Then our defense makes the play for us this drive. See if our offense can help out our own defense to help try to put this game away. We have that 2-scored lead, not 2 touchdown, but 2 score. Would like to see that improve, and that's not going to help. That's going to be a pick 6 for Surtain. I knew as soon as I pressed the X button that I shouldn't have, because I couldn't see where the receiver was. But I risked it, and I'm not getting the biscuit. Instead, what I have now is only a 3-point lead. So, like I had said, I believe in the first half how this game looked very similar to last week. It's looking even more similar, as we had a double score or double-digit lead going into halftime last week, same this week, but in the second half down to a 3-point lead. But all we have to do is just play some smart football here. Let's change this up to an RPO. They have multiple guys playing that edge. They know we're trying to hit the edge with our speed, so try to find something that works in our favor. We'll throw this one away, avoid the sack. And on 2nd and 10, we'll go back to the RPO. We've got Darrell Williams in at running back right now. And he'll take the handoff down the middle. Our power back gets forward for about a gain of 8. 3rd and 2. And on 3rd and 2, let's go with our RPO here. See if we could drag out some of that interior that the Broncos have. Hand this one off to Mostert down the middle. Get the first down. Doesn't have to be flashy, just needs to work. In fact, let's go with a screen pass out of this one. They have that safety down. Let's see if they bring him on a blitz. They dump, but we got 3 blockers out in front. Make that 2 now. Try to utilize our blocker, and instead we get glued to him. That's what Madden needs to fix. NCAA had that fixed a decade ago. So, update your stuff, Madden. But speaking of NCAA, about a year away, roughly, from that game coming out, hopefully. So, really excited for that. We'll definitely be bringing that to the channel. But Gregory picks up the fumble. Kyler Murray turns the ball over again. He got crunched, but he got to hold on to it. And now the Broncos crowd is alive, fired up. They did not have any emotion, just very, very solemn by the end of halftime. But now they are back cheering for their home squad as we head into the 4th quarter. This game very close now, 17-14, as we see the beautiful Rocky Mountains in the background. The 4th quarter will start in plus territory for the Broncos at the 24, only down 3 points. We've given up way too many turnovers, and now the Broncos have taken the lead. I've said it many times this year, turnovers have killed us. And with the turnovers we've seen in that 3rd quarter alone, the Broncos are now in front. Our offense will now be chasing. Well, now there's no time left for any more mistakes. We need to be perfect if we want to get this game back in our favor and put away. And Hudson, you got to block the one guy. You got to block Jewel. 2nd and 13 following the loss of 3 on the screen. Run a little bit of read option here. Try to get Kyler with his speed to the outside. Gregory does a great job there. Gregory's definitely impacted this game. But one guy for us, though, who really hasn't impacted the game much is Hopkins. I don't feel like we've really found him open much at all. And a great stop there from Chubb. 4th and 8 at the 27. We have to punt. And now the pressure rides on our defense, who in, I think, about 2 games has only really given up about 35 points. So not awful. They could get the job done. But what's helped them in the past is getting the turnovers, and we haven't seen our defense force those today, or even getting sacks. I think we have maybe 1 today. So if we're going to disrupt the momentum right now that Wilson has, we got to get someone back there and smack him around a little bit. Javonte Williams will take the draw, gain of 4. Going to need to play a lot of press coverage here. We have some corners that could definitely do it on the outside. I don't know about the slot, and there's a penalty that comes down on the hit from Gardick. The hit definitely came in after the ball was out. I don't think it was by much. Maybe it was a low hit or a high hit. Couldn't say for sure, but feels like that might have been a little bit of a cheap call. But we got some of those last week. They'll get a gain of 8 there with Judy. But right now, this Denver offense is rolling, or stampeding, should I say? We're going to need something, and there's Simmons right down the middle with that double A-gap blitz. Will bring up a 3rd and 9. We have to force a field goal here. And on 3rd and 9, they will come out with a tight shotgun set. Multiple receivers go out, and they don't get the first down. That route ran a little bit too short, but the offense stays on the field. Going to put this game away is what the Broncos plan to do here. Goal line set against a 4-4. They go with a toss. Javonte Wilson to the outside, and he trips, but gets the first. And that was a very smart play by Javonte Williams to be able to drain some more time off this clock. And there goes Gordon for another first down to the 8. His first rush of the day, gain of 12. First and goal. At least we can't give up any more first downs. They'll make an audible here. Gonna spread out the defense now with 2 receivers to either side, but we're gonna send the blitz. Simmons free, but Adoree not able to break that one up. Broncos take a 2-score lead with about 3.5 minutes left in this game, shy of 3.5 minutes. And now our offense needs to put some points on the board. We have 3 minutes, 19 seconds, and we need two scores. There's nothing less than 2 scores that'll do for us. We're going to roll out, going to find Brown here with plenty of room, get forward a little bit past midfield to the 48. And we'll follow that up by going empty. 4 receivers to the right, 1 to the left is Hopkins. We need someone deep. We have Brown's speed. Pass thrown. Inaccurate. It was an underthrown ball. That ball placed about 3-4 yards downfield, actually in the end zone. And that's the touchdown we needed. Brown had the separation, but the ball not placed where it needed to be. That might be game. All the Broncos have to do now is run out the clock. We still need 11 points to tie. 12 points to win with 3 minutes. And we get a pretty bad animation there. Tripping on an offensive lineman. We had a straight shot to the running back. We'll call our first timeout. 2nd and 5. Pretty much a goal line formation here, but 1 receiver out to the left. There'll be another run down the middle. Javonte Wilson Williams following his blockers, and he'll get the first. Like I had mentioned earlier, they have the edge when it comes to power rushing. We don't have some big, strong guys in the middle. We have some guys that could do it, but are learning. They're not top-end guys. We'll get a stop here. Call 1 more of our timeouts, leaving us 1 more. We also have the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 10. Again, that same kind of goal line, but not quite goal line formation. Will be a stretch to the outside. Nice stop there from Adoree. We'll let this hit the 2-minute warning. And the Broncos will come out. 1 receiver to either side, a tight end and a fullback. Will be a stretch. Budda Baker kind of sitting, and we'll get the stop there with Jackson calling our last and final timeout. With 1:47 seconds left and no way of stopping the clock besides getting out of bounds. Our offense has to make the play. Young, 1-on-1. Another interception. There's not much you could do when Madden decides to play like this, and Broncos are walking away with a victory. They will kneel out the clock, and we'll see what awaits us in the playoff picture. We saw last week the Eagles lost 1 game, and they dropped from the 1st seed down to the 5th seed. That very same thing could happen to us, maybe even worse. But we'll just see what happens at the end of this game. Collins taking his frustration out on Williams with that hit. And with about 5 seconds left, I really hope they don't actually punt this. Okay, there's no reason to punt that, Madden. There's no way we win this game. We'll call the fair catch. No need to risk any injury. We're still in the playoff picture. We just don't know where. But the Denver Broncos came out flat as could be the first half and then shut out our offense in the second half, and they just kept scoring. They started forcing turnovers, and there was just not much we could do. All we can do is learn from it, head on in, and try to get better. We gave up 4 takeaways. You're not going to win if you give up 4 takeaways. It's simple as that. And that was just not the play we needed. in that game. And it's not going to get any easier next week, next episode, as we'll face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tom Brady. And they're 88 across the board. So we definitely have at least one more tough game. The Falcons shouldn't be. The 49ers destroyed us in that first meeting, at least emotionally, just because we could not stop them. No matter what we did, we were able to still put some points on the board, but didn't play that game as well as we wanted. But yeah, some tough games, some easy games, you think. But what's that playoff picture looking like after that loss? And not as bad as what happened to the Eagles. We do drop out of that first seed, drop down to the second seed. So we are now back in the wild card look here, but could have been much worse. As some other teams won, we definitely could have found ourselves further down the board, but at least that went in our favor. So right now, projected to play against the 7th seed Dallas Cowboys. But before we focus in on the playoffs, that Buccaneers game is going to be huge for us. We need a victory. We can't afford to be dropping down the board. Granted, it's not going to give us any more games if we continue to drop down the board, but still stay in that race. But we need to do better. See if we do. Make sure you're hitting that subscription button down below and taking that bell notification to be notified of when these go live. The Cardinals series posted every Monday and Thursday. The state-only challenge sim series fantasy, that one's posted every Wednesday and Saturday. If you haven't checked that one out, I suggest you do. Currently doing Ohio, I believe. Since I record those in advance, I'm not sure when they end, because that series ends as soon as we win a Super Bowl. Got to win a Super Bowl within 5 years. We're the team entirely built from players from colleges from one state, at least currently one state with the Ohio. For some of them, we have to group some states. But if that sounds interesting to you, check it out. Playlist on the channel. But until next time, thank you for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye.
How it's supposed to feel.